Oh, we're there we go. There we go. John, we're live. We did it.
Hey,
Couple of
you're a
technological wizards. We got it done. Sorry for those who may have been watching us struggle to get onto the live feed here, but yeah, I'm excited to be here with you, John. Ready for ready to revive Coach's Corner and give a bit of a Seven Movements company update. So today we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A with my co-founder here at Seven Movements, John Sinclair, in his beautiful garage gym in Florida. I'm suffering still. Well, actually, we got sunshine. I'm not suffering that much up in Canmore, Alberta, in the snow, while John sweats it down south. So, welcome, John.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, I think we should kick things off. We haven't done one of these in a long time, so I figured we should give the folks a bit of a company update of where we're at with Seven Movements. What we'll do is I'll give you an opportunity here to give an update on the programming side of things, some of the new programs we've been building, and then I'll make our announcement, our new platform going live here in April, and some of like the more, I guess, technical updates that we have. But why don't you give the folks a breakdown of the last few months? You've been head down working with University of British Columbia, McMaster University on a diabetes study program, as well as a lot of the programming that we're going to be putting on our platform that's going public here in April. So I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so thanks, folks. Thanks for joining us today. Some programs that we've been building over the last little bit. I built, as Dan mentioned, a program for our study that we're doing with our partners at UBC and McMaster University, looking at the effects of microdosing for people that have diabetes. So we're doing that one. That study's just underway right now, I believe. And then previous to that, we just finished a study over this past year where we wrote a program on microdosing for improvements in cardiorespiratory fitness as a means to prevent cancer-related illness. So we've done that one. And then I just finished a Parkinson's program. So that one's going to be released on our commercial app. So we did like 3 or 4 month focus group with some folks from the Michael J. Fox Foundation. And then we put together a program to help create some microdosing for people that have Parkinson's. And so that way that program works out is we have a daily dose of activity that they can do, but then also we created a toolkit based on some of the challenges that folks were having as a result of Parkinson's. And they would tell us like some of the things that they would love to be able to do again. And then we created solutions in a toolkit format. So if they were suffering from a particular challenge, like not being able to get their shoe on quickly, then we would have a strategy that we would teach them on how to engage the connective tissues and muscles and nervous system around putting the shoe on. So there's a whole bunch of strategies that we put together for that. We wrote a microdosing program with dumbbells. We did that a little bit about mid last year, I think it was. We finished that one. So that one's going to be on the commercial app. We just got a whole bunch of programs on there now. So we're really excited to launch the app with all these new programming, and we've got some more that we're building out right now.
Yeah, it's exciting times here at Seven Movements as we kind of get over the final hurdle of our technology build and get our platform launched here in April. If you're listening right now and you'd like to just jump on and follow along with us, obviously we're going to be jumping on live here a lot more on some various social media platforms. But we also have a newsletter community that is going strong called 7 Minute Morning that you can sign up for at 7movements.com on our website. It's just a free way to join John every Monday morning where he walks you through a 7-minute microdose of movement to start your day. So that's a fun way to follow along with us as we get closer and closer to our big launch. I did, in our last newsletter, I put out to our community to send some questions for this episode of Coach's Corner. So, John, we had a couple interesting ones come in. But the first one was, and I think relevant maybe to this discussion, is what's the first step someone can take to begin microdosing movement into their day?
Okay, so the easiest way to explain microdosing is really just take an exercise or an activity that you really like doing and start doing it more frequently throughout the day. And so most activities that we do are particular tasks or sports, or if you just say going for a walk, well, that's a physical activity in itself. But oftentimes what we'll do is we'll try to make time to go walk for an hour. It's very rare that we just interrupt our day and go for a 10-minute walk or go up and down the stairs or, just go around the block for one little trip and then come in and get right back to your desk. So the easiest thing to do is just to look at what is the activity you really enjoy doing, and then how do I take that activity and break it up into smaller doses and do it more frequently. Because what we've found is that most people that don't follow structured exercise, they tend to want to do or wait until they can do a big dose of it. And then what ends up happening is life gets in the way and they're maybe not ready for that dose, or their body can't tolerate that dose. And then they're not consistent enough at it. So in order to be successful in the goal that you have for putting movement in the day, is we have to make it accessible. We have to make it so that you have the capacity to be able to tolerate that stress, and you have to pick something that you really love. So that's kind of the basis behind what we've built 7 Movements on after over a decade here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've been one of the beta testers for for 7 Movements app, and I've been doing the dumbbell daily dose program. And even for someone like me who's pretty active and does do larger doses of movement, even breaking those little 1-minute doses throughout the day has helped me, because I spend a lot of time here sitting at the desk getting work done. So that's been fantastic. And who is our partners for that dumbbell program?
Yeah, our partners are Gungnir of Norway. So they are the first people to actually put a built-in collar into their dumbbells and barbells. So I'll grab one here.
That's really cool. What does that mean?
So, like how if you're taking an adjustable barbell or an adjustable dumbbell or a barbell, there are collars that hold the weights in place, right?
Right.
So you have a separate set of collars that you need to put in. So this is an adjustable dumbbell. You can see there's like these grids in it. This is a beautiful piece of machinery. They've won all kinds of design awards with it. But essentially what we do is we take this dumbbell here, we add the weight to it, and then you don't have to go find a separate collar. They just have the clip built right into it that holds it in place.
Oh, that's cool.
So the great part about it is that it's super secure. It's built in. You don't need any extra other collar added to it. And it's all well designed into this adjustable dumbbell. So we did the adjustable dumbbells using their loadable 1-inch dumbbell. This is their 2-inch dumbbell that would hold a 2-inch Olympic plate.
Really cool. Those are really good looking.
Yeah, they're beautiful
dumbbells. Yeah. Awesome. Next question coming your way, John, is, and this is like I guess, fundamental question of why our company exists, but why should people microdose movement into their day? Like, what are the actual benefits that they're getting out of that?
Okay, so let's say you're somebody who isn't active, so you're primarily sedentary throughout the day. The benefit of microdosing is to break up that sedentary or static behavior. And so when your tissues are static, they become more rigid. And then when we don't move, we lack circulation. That affects your lymphatic system and how your body moves waste products through the body. We have to remember that in order to improve health, I need to drive circulation through the body. So just doing something as simple as getting up and doing a an air squat or just squatting up and down for a period of 60 seconds and sitting back down is tremendously increasing the amount of circulation through the body. So we live and die at the cellular level. The only way cells are healthy is if there is motility to the cells. So we need to circulate fluids throughout the body. So that is, in my mind, I think that is the main reason. It's not weight loss. It's not all this stuff. It's just from a pure health standpoint. The more you are sedentary and not moving, the unhealthier you are being. So that, and most people also that don't exercise, they can't tolerate 60 minutes of exercise. They just can't. Like, their body will not be able to tolerate it like you and I can, because we've been doing this all our life, right? So for people that don't exercise, what we have to do is we have to take whatever we might prescribe to a healthy person and cut it all the way down into these small little bits, and they just do these bits throughout the day. So that over the course of the day, now it's aggregated up into maybe half of what a total dose might be that someone that's healthy might be able to do. So those are the two major points that I'd like to make about microdosing and the effectiveness of it. And the other thing is, and then the third one I would say is that it's a simple thing to build into your day. So from a behavior standpoint, it's an easy way to get a win, right? And when we stack up wins, then we change our behavior around exercise, and then we start making it part of your day. And I know you'll make it part of a day because you're going to start to feel better. You'll have an increase in amount of energy that you have throughout the day. Your body's going to start to feel better. It's going to reward you by saying, thank you very much. Like, I feel a whole lot better now. My back doesn't hurt. My shoulders don't hurt. My posture's improved. Those are all things that we can do to get little wins and start building streaks. For us, exercise behavior is about getting a streak going and keeping it going, right? The more frequently we move, the healthier we become, the less pain you exhibit. So that's the big points for me, Dan.
Yeah, I love that. And I can say one of the most exciting things that's coming out of our research studies, as you know, John, is like the adherence to the program. So people actually building those streaks and building new exercise behaviors into their lives is really, really quite exciting.
Yeah, once you have a streak, you don't want to lose it, right?
Like, what's your HRV streak right now?
My HRV streak is just shy of 1,500 consecutive days. So I'm over 4 years now.
Wow. So that's for those listening at home, that's John measuring his heart rate every morning.
Yeah, my heart rate variability. So that's it's a 5-minute test, and that gives me an objective measurement of the stress that my autonomic nervous system is going through on that particular day, which I use as a measure to determine how much exercise and how intense of exercise can I strain myself with on this given day.
Right. Love it. One more question that came from our 7-minute morning community. I thought this was an interesting question. So she's just asking, how do you go about planning your 7-minute morning videos? What are the intentions behind the actual programming?
Oh, that's wonderful. More often than not, if I can create better mobility and circulation first thing in the morning, you're going to feel better. And so that's the process I've always gone through when I do this myself. Is I get up in the morning, I drink some water, I go to the bathroom, I measure my HRV, and then I start to go through a sequence of things that will improve circulation in my body, because I've been laying still for 8 hours, right?
Right.
So fluids haven't been moving as efficiently as they could. Tissues are squished together because your superincumbent weight has basically put the layers of the tissues and they're all smashed together, right? So when you get up first thing in the morning, you don't walk as normal as you normally do, right? So the idea is really, how do I get some circulation going through the body? How do I mobilize the connective tissue so they want to glide and slide? And then, so that's what we call mobilizers. And then the last thing is, how do we integrate it from the foot and the ankle through to the hip, through to the spine, and into the shoulders? And so that's pretty much the mechanism behind 7-minute morning, why we do it. And then I just express those movements in a three-dimensional bubble. Like, how do I get you to move so that imagine you're moving in 3D, right? It's not just always up and down or forwards and backwards. We also have things we're moving side to side or with rotation, right? And so we try to expand your sphere of function, which is your three-dimensional bubble, where you can move in time and space efficiently and with good rhythm and timing. So that's the approach that I take with it.
Cool. Amazing. And actually, there is one more question that came in, and it was actually around some of our Parkinson's program that we're building. So the question basically is, when do I know that it's safe to start doing a microdosing movement program as someone who has a chronic disease such as Parkinson's?
Okay. So the first thing I'd preface everything with is that every human being is completely unique and responds to exercise in a unique way. So the safe way to do is, if you get up and you move and you feel better, take a look at that movement and identify, what did that movement consist of? Was it a squat? Was I lowering my level or folding my body? Was it a bend? Did I bend forward and then stand back up? Was it a lunge? Did I step and did I return? Did I push something? Did I pull something? Did I twist? Did I chop? All these are movements. And what we would do is we'd say, all right, where are you currently in your movement? What makes you feel good? What do you enjoy doing? And then let's try 60 seconds of it. And if you can repeat that with good rhythm and timing, good coordination, you feel like, I can repeat this at a slow, steady tempo for 60 seconds, that's going to be your movement for the day. And that one movement that you did that day that made you feel successful, that made you feel happy, that made you feel really good, that's going to be the exercise that you're going to do repeated throughout the day. Now, there's the way we build the program and the way we build our doses is based on, if you're maybe not having a good day, the program will automatically send you exercises that are more driven around mobility. So increasing space at a joint. It's not very stressful to the system. It's just trying to create more space at a joint. And we might add some recovery-based movements. So movements that help bring energy back into the body, or as I like to call it, working in. If you're having a great day and you feel kind of spry and you feel like, hey, everything's kind of feeling pretty good, then the platform is going to send you exercises that are more cardiovascular based. So something that's going to challenge your cardiovascular system and your cardiorespiratory system. Or it might be something that's more strength related. Your body's ability to overcome forces or create forces. So those are the different types of programs that we put together with our Parkinson's program and with all of our rare disease programs. It's really about finding where you're currently at and meeting you where you're at, and then prescribing those doses so that you feel that you can be successful that day.
Awesome. I love that. That's a fantastic message for everybody, not just those with chronic conditions, but
100%.
But
like,
yeah.
Hey, Dan, every day, like, I write down what I'm going to do that day.
Right.
And depending on what happens in the day, right, I have to alter that program. Right. And so I've got a program up here ready to go for me. When we finish this is what I'm going to do today. I can guarantee you that I wrote that this morning and I might make some alterations throughout the program. Right.
Right.
And that's the idea of how we built things. Right. It's like, these are smaller doses. Try these doses, see how you feel, and then report back. One of the things we built in the platform was your ability to rate that particular activity. How did you find that today? Did you enjoy it? Because if you enjoy it, that one's going to come up a little bit more frequently for you, right? So it's really important that not only are we finding the right exercises that give you the dose that your body needs to feel better than you did when you started, but did you enjoy it as well? Because if we can marry those two things together, you're going to do them more often, and maybe for longer, or maybe at a higher speed, or maybe with some resistance, right?
Well, and I think it's one of the really interesting things about, from an exercise programming point of view, about microdosing movement is the flexibility in which it allows you to alter your programming. There's a lot of exercise programs out there that don't, they're too rigid.
Yep.
So it's like, here's a 45-minute dose of high intensity exercise, whether you're ready or not, here it comes, right? And then we know what the end result of that is.
Yeah. So like, for example, let's say you go to work, your plan was to do a 45-minute cardiovascular spin session, right? But you had a really terrible day at work. Boss was in a lousy mood, packed more work on you. Something happened with your kids at school. You get in the car, you got to pick them up. You got to take them. You're stuck in traffic. You finally dump them off. You go to do your cardio exercise and your stress level's through the roof. And then we're just going to pour more stress onto that because exercise is stress. That's a disaster waiting to happen. And then people feel like they're not successful if they didn't get 45 minutes in. Right. But I tell you, if you would have taken that 45-minute dose, turned it into 10 minutes, right, and gave a 10-minute dose, you'd certainly increase your ability to create circulation through the body. You'd be giving a stress to the system that the body is like, yeah, thank you, I needed that stress. But it wasn't so much that it like absolutely crushed you, right? It maybe shifted you from being in a fight or flight response to just kind of like, okay, I'm awake now. Like, I feel better, right? Conversely, it might be, I've had all this total stress in here. Why don't I do something that just makes me feel good, right? Maybe I'll just do some stretching. Maybe I'll just do some recovery. Maybe I'll just do some self-massage, right? And then that way, that takes you from being major fight or flight, and then we work in to help balance you back out again. Because all the success you're going to have in exercise comes from when you get to here. We train you hard, we recover you hard, so that it comes back to here, right?
Amazing. Oh, and I see Melissa's on the feed right now. She said Jack and her enjoyed today's 7-minute morning. So we've got some folks who are doing the movements in the morning. So that's really, really exciting. The last thing I wanted to chat with you real quick about here, John, is kind of some of our future programming that we have building up. I think it'd be great for everyone listening to know what we're involved in and how they can get involved. I'll go through some of that as far as we move towards our big launch here at Seven Movements. We are looking for ambassadors and coaches who want to partner with us and work with us to help bring our programming to populations who need it the most. But on the programming side, John, I'm thinking like MS and some of the other programs we have in our pipeline. If people want to reach out to you or to me or to us at Seven Movements, share their thoughts, maybe give them an overview on kind of what you have in the programming pipeline.
Yeah, so we're building a falls prevention program with our friend Melissa, who's one of our coaches. So we're building that one out, which is really about just helping give people the skills that they need to survive a rapid deceleration towards the ground. So rather than just falling, teaching you how to hit the ground, right? We're looking at, do you have the requisite abilities to be able to slow yourself down from that fall? Do you have the strength and the power to be able to put on the brakes so that you don't hit the ground? Do you have the skill sets to get up from the ground if you do get down there, right? And so we have a falls prevention program. We're working on finalizing our multiple sclerosis program, which I've been working on for about a year now. So we're really close to getting that one finished up. We are building out some preparation and recovery programs for golf, tennis, and pickleball. So really popular sports that are coming out. If there's any other sports that you would love to see us do, how do I prepare for that sport? And then how do I recover from that sport? Whether you're a weekend warrior or a young developing athlete or even a professional athlete, we work with all these folks in developing preparation and recovery solutions for them, which also serve as injury prevention, obviously, for the weekend warrior and youth athletes. What else am I missing, Dan?
I think that really covers it. And I would encourage anyone who is interested in learning more, or like you say, partnering or getting involved with how we're building these programs. Like, for example, in the multiple sclerosis arena, we're looking for nonprofit partners, research partners, et cetera, et cetera. So don't be afraid to connect with Johnny or myself or reach out to one of us, one of our social channels, and just touch base with us. We'd love to chat with you and get your input to make the program better. That's what we did with Parkinson's. That's why it's going to be such an amazing program, is that the focus groups that Michael J. Fox so kindly put together for us helped inform what that program would look like. And I think there were probably some surprises in there, right? As far as
for sure,
getting some information from the folks who are dealing with these challenges firsthand. So that's just an open invitation to anyone listening to reach out to John or myself and get involved with us in any way that you like.
Yep.
Cool. I guess what I'll leave this is this was our first episode of Coach's Corner since 2022, I think, John. So we're going to make this more of a regular event, so you can follow us a little bit more on the socials as we sort of ramp up towards our commercial launch. We've been working really hard on the research side in the background for the last year and a half, 2 years. And there's a lot of exciting things coming out of that. But we're really excited to start bringing this out to the public and getting feedback from all of you amazing folks listening to us today. John, any parting words for the folks? All I'll tell them is be sure to sign up for 7 Minute Morning. That community is growing every day, and it's kind of exciting to see people jump on there. It's free to do, and you get to see John every Monday morning. It's a nice way to spend Monday morning with John for 7 minutes. I'll pass it over to you, John, for any final words, and then we'll sign off.
Yeah, really excited to be doing this again, Dan. Love talking with the community, but this community only grows unless our community is active. So if there's anything you want to hear or anything you want us to build, please be a part of that with us, because we only grow if we can actually serve your needs. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we really appreciate it, and hope to keep providing some value for all you folks out there and build some programs that help change some people's lives.
Absolutely. And send your questions in. You can actually ask questions during the live stream here, or send them in ahead of time, and we'll get John to answer all of your health and wellness questions. So just send them when and how you want to. Awesome. All right. Thanks, John. We'll see you again soon.
See you, bud.